Hi, it's time for Back in the Library, and this is Bonnie Baldoff, and so we have a joint in-person and um, Facebook Live program today, and what we're going to do is we're going to read three books. The first one is Ride the Wind. It's by Nicola Davies. And you see some birds trying to take off. A note from the author: wandering albatrosses have the biggest wingspan of any bird, up to 11.5 feet, 3.5 meters. They spend most of their lives flying over the southern ocean, traveling as much as 75,000 miles, 120,000 kilometers every year, only to return to land every 2 years to join their lifelong mate and rear a single chick. But sometimes they get caught in fishing gear or swallow plastic, mistaking it for food, and never make it home. Most of the 22 different species of albatross are threatened with extinction. The Magdalena pitched and rolled in the rough seas. Waves burst over her bow and flooded her decks with icy water. Javier was exhausted, but he would not show it. Since his mother had died, his father, Thomas, was quick to call him weak and childish. Javier would not give him that excuse. Seabirds, gulls, petrels, and albatrosses crowded around the boat, all trying to snatch a meal from the fishing hooks. Sometimes they'd hook themselves. Javier hoped none would be caught today. But when he looked up from his work, a bird hung from the line, an albatross. The bird, Uncle Philippe, pulled the hook from its beak and flung the bird across the deck. It landed in a heap and lay still. "No slacking there," Thomas shouted from the wheelhouse. "Fish don't wait for lazy boys." By the time they had finished pulling in the lines, Thomas and Uncle Philippe had forgotten all about the albatross. Javier crouched beside it. Even like this, it was beautiful. He scooped it into his arms. At once, the bird's eyelids flickered. It was alive! Javier wrapped it in a tarp and hid it in the holes. The sun was high by the time they got back to the village, and the colors of the little houses gleamed against the green slopes and cliff tops. The Magdalena chugged into port like a clucking hen. Javier never grew tired of seeing his home from the sea like this. When Thomas and Uncle Philippe went off to sell their catch, Javier snuck the albatross off the boat and into the storeroom behind the house. He parted the tarp, afraid that the bird might have died, but a bright brown eye stared out at him. He pulled the bird into his old playpen. Once long ago, before his mother had gone to the city to work, the playpen had kept him safe while she cooked and cleaned. His mother had never come back, but it would keep the albatross safe all the same. After a fishing trip, his father did little more than sleep, and Uncle Philippe always went off to see his girlfriend. Javier was free to gather all he needed for the albatross. Senora Herrera gave him ointments to heal its wounds. Senor Oritz lets Xavier have his dog's old bed for a nest. Senorita Fidel let him buy the smallest fish for just a little money. Soon, the bird learned that Xavier brought food and clacked its beak in greeting. Xavier was sure the bird was a female. He worried if her mate was waiting for her somewhere far away. Keeping a secret in the village was impossible. When Thomas found out about the bird, he was furious. "Get that thing out of here," he growled. "Please, father, let me keep her till she can fly," Xavier begged. "Let it stay until we go to sea again," said Uncle Philippe. "What's the harm?" Thomas scowled. "You had 2 weeks until the next trip." And he stormed out. Uncle Philippe patted his nephew's shoulder. "Why do you care so much about the bird?" Xavier looked at the ground. "She reminds me of Mother, alone and sick and far from home." Every day, the start of their next trip grew closer. Every day, the albatross ate more and more, but she showed no signs of wanting to use her wings and only shuffled feathers like an old lady shifting her skirts. The day before they were due to sail, Xavier was frantic with worry. "Cheer up," Senorita Vidal told him. "There's a big wind coming. No one will be going to sea tomorrow." Xavier ran all the way home. That big wind had given him an idea. What do you think his idea is? But when he opened the door of the storeroom, the albatross was gone. Xavier ran to the waterfront. Thomas was preparing gear on the Magdalena's deck. "What have you done with her?" Xavier shouted. He had never spoken to his father like this before. "Tell me." "Sold her," Thomas said without looking up, "to Senor Tapia, who runs the fairgrounds in Santa Crista." "But she needs our help, like Mother did," Xavier cried. "And you sold her?" He didn't wait for Thomas to reply. He just ran. There was only one hotel in the village, newly built out on the coast road. Senorita Tapia's car was there with a big wire cage in the back. Xavier smashed his way into the car and took the bird from her prison. The police would be called, but he didn't care. There was a wheelbarrow by the wall, and he put the bird inside. Then he started to run, wheeling her up toward the cliff top where the wind was already strong. Of course, the albatross had not wanted to fly in that stuffy little room. She needed the wind to remind her who she was and where she needed to be. The flashing lights of police cars were winding up toward them. It was now or never, fly or die. Xavier turned the wheelbarrow into the wind and ran toward the cliff's edge. In front of the police cars, Thomas sat in Uncle Philippe's Jeep, desperately worried about his son. "I've been a fool, Philippe," he said. "I thought only that I lost a wife, never that Xavier lost a mother." He leaped from the car just in time to see his son running straight for the cliff's edge. It was a nightmare. He saw the wheelbarrow tip and send his boy and bird flying, and then they were gone. Xavier and the bird were falling. For a moment, their eyes met, and Xavier thought of his mother. Go home, he told the albatross. Go home. Something in the creature's eyes answered him, and her wings snapped open. Thomas found the boy sprawled on the very, very edge, so nearly gone. He took his son in his arms and held him, knowing that nothing in all the world was more precious. Javier's face was wet with tears, but lit up with a smile exactly like his mother's. Father, look, he said, she's going home. Far out over the stormy ocean, close to the waves, riding the wind, the albatross was on her way. There's two of them. Maybe it found its mate. Well, it's a heartfelt story of a father and a son and an albatross who meets to find her way home. Well, I hope you enjoyed that story. I like the part about where the father realizes that he hadn't been thinking that his son had also lost a mother. And he goes running out and he catches his son and he holds him, knowing how precious his son is. That's my favorite part. Ride the Wind by Nicola Davies. And here's another book called I Am Every Good Thing. It's by Derick. It's creators of Crown, an Ode to the Fresh Cut. Derick. I am a nonstop ball of energy, powerful and full of light. I am a go-getter, a difference maker, a leader. I am every good thing that makes the world go round. You know, like gravity or the glow of moonbeams over a field of brand new snow. I am good to the core, like the center of a cinnamon roll. Yeah, that good. I am skateboard tricks, scrape knees and elbows. But you know what? I am right back on my feet again. I am one eye open, one eye closed, peeking through a microscope, gazing through a telescope, checking out the spaces around me, and plotting out those far-off places I have yet to go, but will. I am a gentleman and a scholar. I am kind and polite, like, yes, ma'am, and yes, sir, helping my grandmother cross the street and saying, bless you, when a stranger has to sneeze. I am a cool breeze, a perfect paper airplane that glides for blocks, for miles, forever. I am a roaring flame of creativity. I am a lightning round of questions and a star-filled sky of solutions. I am an explorer, planting a flag on every square foot on this planet where I belong. I am a sponge, soaking up information, knowledge, and wisdom. I want it all, and I am all ears. I am Saturday mornings in the summertime. I am 2 bounces and a front flip off the diving board. I am hilarious. I am the life of the party. I am that smile forming on your face right now. I'm the boom bop, boom boom back. When the bass line thumps and kicks, drums jumps. I'm the perfect beat, the perfect rhythm, keeping everything on point and always on time. But you already knew that. I am a grand slam, bases full loaded. I'm a nasty two-handed dunk, holding on to the rim just to remind you that I'm still the man. Believe that. I am the undisputed champion. I am a highlighted reel of magnificence. I am the celebration, the applause, and the standing ovation. I am victory. I am a brother, a son, a nephew, a favorite cousin, a grandson. I am a friend. I am real. I am tight hugs, a hand to hold, a shoulder to cry on. If you have to, I hope you never have to. I am here. Although I am something like a superhero, every now and then I am afraid. I am not what they might call me, and I will not answer to any name that is not my own. I am what I say I am. I am that sound in the forest when the mighty tree falls. I am waves crashing gently on the shore. I am a force of nature, a miracle, a blessing. I am brave. I am hope. I am my ancestors' wildest dreams. I am worthy of success, of respect, of safety, of kindness, of happiness. And without a shadow of a doubt, I am worthy to be loved. I am worthy to be loved. All these faces, I am. Celebrate all the things that make you such a force of nature. Powerful, timely, and beautifully rendered. A book I want to read to every child I know and the ones I don't. Jacqueline Woodson. So I hope you enjoyed this story. And if there was somebody in the library, we'd be doing a craft right now. But we will be back again next week. And this is Bonnie Balder from the Ponic Public Library, wishing you a happy day. Remember that Saturday is the magic show from 2 to 3. And we're going to celebrate Black History Month with a magic show. So come and join us. Goodbye.